Hi guys, it's Jeff at Slavens Racing. This video is about how I set up Rekluse clutches on my own personal bikes. I love Rekluse clutches. I've been using them for many years, and I've got them in my 300s and my 500, and I don't even like riding bikes without them anymore. This bike, I've got quite a few miles on this new 23 300XC. This is Alex's bike, and with the manual clutch in it, and I think it's way harder to ride them with the manual clutch. I'm sure there's plenty of people that disagree with me on that, and that's fine. But I call them a cheater clutch just because it just makes life a lot easier. The bike is, you don't have to worry about it flaming out or stalling on you in tough sections or any section. And then it puts the power down a lot smoother. So there's places with a manual clutch where it can be hard to get traction, but with the auto clutch, you can get right up it and get plenty of traction. But that's just my preference. The guys that don't like him, almost everyone that I've talked to, a guy that says he doesn't like Rekluse clutches, he's ridden a bike that was not set up well. When I started asking them about how it engaged, that was their complaint, that they disengaged easily and freewheeled on downhills, and that they didn't engage properly when you're getting on the throttle. With my setup, they stay engaged clear down to idle. Completely down to idle. And then when you get back on the gas, it's instant. They instantly engage. There's not a lag period. There's not a period where the motor revs up some before it engages. It works very smoothly. So my nephew comes out here and rides with me a couple times a year. He lives back east. He put a Rekluse in his 300. Didn't tell me about it or didn't ask my recommendations on setup or anything, and he put it in, rode it once or twice, took it back out. He didn't like it. So this summer when he was out here, I set up his EXP. This piece right here is called the EXP. I set it up with my setup, put it back in. He loves it now. That's all he's using now. And I've experienced that a lot with a lot of guys. Once they get on one that's got the proper setup, they love them. And I know there's thousands of them out there that are not set up correctly. The guys are just dealing with it, I guess. All right, so there's nothing real tricky about it. Just for an FYI, the parts over here on the left are the stock clutch, and the parts over in this area are the Rekluse. But the only thing I do is just change the springs. So these springs is what holds this EXP unit together and controls how quickly it expands. So this whole thing expands. So I've got too many of the springs out of it right now. One of the weights fell out. But anyhow, these weights slide out. There's a spring. These weights slide up and down in here, and the springs control how quickly this thing expands. So if you've got lighter springs in there, it's going to expand quicker and engage quicker. So all I have done is take out the stock silver springs. You can see it's got a silver on there. And one little trick about that is you just push in on it to compress the spring, and then turn it a quarter turn. But you need to have it in your hand, because if you have it on a surface, you're going to be pushing against that surface. Because as you push this thing in, let's see if you can see this. Maybe you can see that pin comes out the back side. That's why you need to hold it in your hand. So all I do, guys, on the 2 strokes, I run 6 steels. These are called steels because they're kind of a steel color. These are the lightest ones they make. So I run 6 steels. And then on my 4-stroke, my 500, I run 3 blue and 3 silver. There they are right there. So 3 blue and 3 silver on 4 strokes, 3 steels on the 2 strokes. And that's really about all there is to it. It's kind of a no-brainer to make your clutch work right. And then, of course, afterwards, you need to go back over on the other side of the bike and set your sleeve cylinder adjustment, which is over there in front of the countershaft sprocket. And I just use the factory setting for that, which I don't remember what it is right at the moment. I can't remember. I know you find the engagement point, then you turn it in one turn plus a certain amount of clicks. I don't remember if it's 3 clicks or 5 clicks, but anyhow, I just set it at that factory setting, whatever it says on your instruction sheet that came with your clutch. And then I tune it a little bit from there. And I like my bikes to where when they're sitting there in first gear at an idle, I want there to be just a little bit of what's called a pulse. And that means the whole bike is kind of pulsing forward on you with each compression stroke of the engine. So you can kind of feel the bike, it kind of wants to surge a little bit. You don't want it dragging you, but you do want to have that pulse feeling. And that's what really gives you, that type of adjustment is what really gives you good engagement and makes the bike really rideable. I think that's really about all there is to my setup, guys. If you have any questions, just make comments down below in the comment section, or you can email me at info@slavensracing.com, or you can call my store. Oops, quick update, guys. I tried the setup that I've been using for 17 through 23 300 XCWs with the all steel springs, 6 steels. Didn't work on this bike. So making a change. I'm going to go to 3 steels and 3 silvers and give it a quick spin and see how she works. Okay guys, I took her for a quick spin around the hood. Works great now. And my adjuster setting is, the way you do this, you back it out, back this adjuster out counterclockwise until it's about flush or even out a little bit beyond flush to where maybe you can see the O-ring. Then you screw it in, and at that point the adjuster will turn very easily, and then you'll feel it engage. Start to get a little firm. That's your starting point. All right, from there I went 1 turn plus 4 clicks on this bike. On your own, this is for the TBI models, TBI, the 23XC motor or TX motor. But yours might not be identical to that. It might be 3 clicks or it might be 4 clicks, hard to say. This has got a pretty good pulse at idle when you stick it in first gear, which is the way I like them. It pulses, but it doesn't try to walk away on you. All right, so just to review, we've got 3 setups here. So for the 17 through 23, 450 and 500 EXC and XCFW models, I use 3 blues and 3 silvers. For the 17 through 23 300 XCWs and the 17 through 22 XCs, so the older motor, I use the all steel springs, 6 of them. And then for this bike, I'm using 3 steels and 3 silvers. And this is the 23 300 XC TBI, same as the TX 23 model. So that should get you going, guys, with really good engagement, both uphill and downhill. All right, better wrap this up. Please like us on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us a shout out whenever you can. It's also nice to send in your pictures of your bike builds, or even just smaller things that you're doing to your bike, or even some of your redneck inventions for tools or fixes or whatever. I like seeing that redneck stuff. So, but definitely get out for some throttle therapy. That's all for now.